Steve Bannon. Anybody remember when I did a stream on these guys? You remember all these people here? I mean, folks, this is real detective shit. You saw the video I did on the Nigerians, all this shit, and I wrote about them a few years ago, right? I wrote about this guy, Build the Wall. I actually contacted the authorities many years ago when I saw this guy on Fox. I was the first guy to contact. I knew it was a scam brewing. And what happened several years later, Bannon's involved. They both fucking get sentenced to jail, to prison. Right? I mean, this is the real fucking expose here. This is world-class scam expose going on here. I guess you all don't remember when I did these videos, when I exposed Miles Kwok, the guy who was recently sentenced to prison for a $1 billion fraud. He was teamed up with Raoul Pal Real Vision several years ago, putting out all this propaganda videos on China, all this horse shit. I came out and exposed how Kyle Bass aligned himself with this guy. It turned out that Kyle Bass took illicit proceeds from this guy to fund his short fund, shorting the Hong Kong dollar. You all don't remember all this shit? I mean, where else are you going to hear this shit from? Nowhere. You all don't remember? I've done videos and streams on this. So, the videos are there. I've done it all. Right? I mean, folks, this is the value in being able to spot a con artist, a scammer, a fraud instantly, like I did Raoul Paul many years ago. I knew this guy was a fraud instantly, and it's sad and shocking, but this guy is still positioning himself. I saw him on a commercial on Scamberg. On Scamberg, he's apparently positioned himself as some type of a kingpin at some cryptocurrency conference in Singapore coming up. This guy's a fucking fraud. Not to mention, if you listen to his crypto calls, go online and research. He's caused people to blow the fuck up. He's such a fucking idiot. His whole backstory is a lie. That's why I knew he was a fraud. He's claiming he predicted the financial crisis. That right there, he's a fraud. Folks, remember, birds of a feather always fucking flock together. There's no coincidence. You understand? Once you spot one fucking fraud, you look around and see who they're hanging out with, what events they're going to, right? Whose channel they're going on. You understand? Then you're going to see the connection. Start watching. Go through these channels and see the people that they're interviewing. And I'm just telling you, you'll see the circle jerk. It's not a fucking coincidence. I'm telling you. It's obvious. So anyway, you got the Colfage here, the amputee who came out several years ago when Donald Trump wanted to build a wall, and he decides to start a GoFundMe fund, and he wants to show everyone that he's a patriot. Here's the psychology, the con man. First of all, he shows you he's an amputee in a wheelchair, and he's a veteran. You understand? No, I'm a veteran. Fuck veterans. Veteran? Fucking spit on him. Veteran. There ain't no fucking real veterans in America going out and fucking killing innocent people. The only veterans in America, they're still alive, fought in World War I and World War II. Everything else is bullshit. Shit. Veteran. But of course, you know, that gets to people. He knows that. That's why he pulled the thing, the whole sympathy. Yeah, I'll trust him. Yeah, he's an honorable guy. He was a veteran. He gave his life. He's amputee. He wants to build a wall. I'm going to send him money. He's going to do it. You got it? You understand? If you really want to do something like that, if you're honest, you're not going to show your little amputee horse shit. You see what I'm saying? You all follow me. You don't like put superficial things to lure people. It's just like these guys who use religion to reel in people, like Dave Ramsey and many other people. Anything with religion and investments, they're all instantly automatic, guaranteed scam. Write it the fuck down, take it to the bank. Right? I'm giving you guys, I'm teaching you how to spot con artists, by the way. If you've been taking notes all these videos, I'm giving you all the golden rules. Pretty easy. Getting back to Bannon, I want to show you here. This is funny. Folks, it's the same song and dance. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. I mean, you can't be more fucking obvious. Why don't you just take off your clothes, Steve? Take off your clothes and make everything obvious. What am I talking about? Take a look at the picture of Jesus Christ in the background. In the American flag. I mean, you see all this bullshit? Folks, this is the red flag. This is the telltale sign it's a fucking con. You understand? He's got all the little religious shit in the background, the American flag, right? And then what is it all about? It's all about pitching you gold. I mean, the problem is that the people this appeals to are so fucking stupid that after I tell them this, they'll still fall for it. That's the problem. You all get what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Why? It's also, this is the same type of line of thinking that, Patrick Boyle. Oh, look, Patrick Boyle, he's wearing a suit. Dude, what are you doing at home wearing a fucking suit for your YouTube videos? You understand what I'm saying? They're doing that for a reason. They're trying to manipulate things. Patrick Boyle, anyone who wears a suit that doesn't need to is trying to con you. You got it? Right? You understand what I'm saying? Just like this. Why is he showing all this religious stuff? Because he wants to lure in the religious zealots. And the flag, he's a patriot. Yeah, oh yeah. Shit. He's still a fucking criminal. He got pardoned by Trump, the fucking fraud criminal himself. But he's still a convicted felon. Steve Bannon. Doesn't matter, he got pardoned. He's still a fucking convicted felon. You all know the story, right? He teamed up with this amputee Colfage, with this Fund the Wall, and all these stupid fucking idiots. Anyone that sends money to GoFundMe is a goddamn idiot. Are you fucking stupid? Don't ever do that. Okay? People are so fucking stupid. Jesus Christ. GoFundMe should be shut the fuck down. It's an illegal operation. It's complete horseshit. But anyway, they were living the life, buying all types of properties and luxury and all this shit with the money. And so, fortunately, they got shut down. And so, Steve Bannon, he's this guy, he's always off to the next scam. And you all know I talked about in the last stream at the end, I talked about Scam Book. Or I refer to it as another name, which I can't mention on ScamTube, which I also refer to another name, which I can't mention on ScamTube. But Scambook, Facebook, I mentioned the Cambridge Analytica scam, the fraud, right? You remember that company that got access to 50 million Facebook accounts and used that data to manipulate things. They manipulated the election. Using ads on Facebook. You all remember that, right? That was that was back in 2015, 2016. That came out maybe in 2017. That's what caused Zuckerfuck. The satanic piece of trash, to change Scambook's name into Meta. You all don't know that? By that time, the brand name was so fucked, he had to change it. You see? So, anyway, my point is that, did you know, by the way, that Steve Bannon is the founder of Cambridge Analytica? Steve Bannon was behind Cambridge Analytica. Did you all know that? I never remember hearing about that. Now, I don't pay attention to the news or anything like that. But hell, when it comes to election stuff, things that happen, that just kind of hits you in the face. You can't really get away from it. I don't remember hearing that Steve Bannon was, he's the guy that started Cambridge Analytica. Well, in fact, he was the guy. Think about that. Why do you think Donald Trump pardoned him? Right? So, of course, Steve Bannon, he's off to the next scam with Birch Gold. Now, let me just tell you guys, and you all need to spread this information. Any gold company that's got anybody endorsing anything, you better believe you don't trust that gold company. Okay? And in general, any kind of high-profile celebrity person that's endorsing anything, I'd stay away from. It's probably a scam. Okay? Most likely. What they'll do is they'll get these washed-up actors. Like I saw one with Tom Selleck pitching some fucking, I don't know, reverse mortgages or some bullshit. And, he appeals to the baby boomers. They remember Tom Selleck. And of course, Tom Selleck, he's not rolling in the dough, right? He's not doing anything anymore. So he's going to take this money and he's going to appeal to all these old people, right? So why are they doing that? Because they're going to fool the old people, right? So anyway, this whole thing basically, you pretty much understand the song and dance. It's basically with the gold guys, what they do is they get the conservative people. Typically, it's the people that they don't trust the government. The government's bad. Of course, this is typically like the right-wing people, right? The Republicans, which are part of the government, right? I mean, it's kind of like, the Ron Paul's part of this shit too. I exposed Ron Paul 15 fucking years ago, goddamn scam artist. You can't tell that to his cult. Oh no. Ron Paul is one of the first high-profile guys pitching gold, fucking fraudster. Of course, Ron Paul's scam, this is the guy who was in Congress for 30 years. He was always telling you the government's bad. Remember that? Ron Paul, the government's bad. Oh, they're evil. Well, if that's the case, Ron, what the fuck you doing in the government? Get the fuck out, right? Why would you want to be involved with the evil government? Well, he's gonna do something about it. Oh yeah, sure he is. You see, that's the whole pitch, right? That's the pitch. That's the angle that he uses. But so all these conservative guys, basically the guys that tell you, and these are the guys, by the way, they're kind of similar to the libertarians. Similar, libertarians, these fucking scam artists, basically. The libertarian movement, you can look into it. It's, I can't say, but the gang that's basically behind the libertarian movement. It's the mafia. And if you take a look at the leaders of it, the big kingpins, you'll see what I'm talking about. But you can go back into the history and take a look at what's that lady, that lunatic wacko girl's name? Ayn Rand, right? But typically it's kind of the libertarian. And of course, if you've fallen for the libertarians, I'm not here to say that you're a wacko or a con artist. You're a pigeon. You've been fooled. It's the kingpins that push this shit. They're the frauds. The libertarian scam, basically, folks, that's backed by corporate interests. Yes, that's right. It's not individuals' liberty. They don't give a fuck. It's a Trojan horse. It's for corporate fascism. They want to fool people into thinking that, therefore, your personal freedoms and liberties, get the government out of the way, right? That's libertarian. They're anti-government. No, they're not. That's a ruse. It's a trick. You see? They want you to think that that's what they're for, so that you'll support them when they want to lower the laws of, say, corporate regulation, right? We don't want regulation. You understand? The corporations don't want regulation. Libertarian movement is basically a complete fraud on the people to get the people to basically dig their own fucking graves. That's what it's about. Empowering the corporations so that the corporations can fuck the workers, they can fuck the consumers, and there's no repercussions. That's what the goal of the libertarian movement is. But they masquerade it as an individual liberty and freedom, you see. So basically what you have, same guys that pitch liberty, freedom, buy gold, right? It's the same guys, you know, the conservative talking heads. They're always the ones that pitch the gold, okay? So you got Bannon with Birch Gold. Birch Gold is a typically doing this shit. I wouldn't trust them to save my fucking arm or leg. You see, because what happens with these gold companies, and there's many of them, what they're doing is they're passing the buck. They're doing the media scam. See, what the media does is that the media will interview, let's say, somebody, and he's a fraud, right? Well, guess what? The media is not responsible. And the guy that's a fraud, well, oh well, too bad you lost your money, right? In other words, the media, the guy's passing the buck to the media. The media will promote this guy, this fraud, right? The fraud is not promoting himself. The media does it for him, you see? And it's all in the name of news and in media. It's called passing the buck, where nobody really gets kind of responsible for it. So you can have people that kind of swindle through the media. Well, this is what these gold companies do when they pay off guys like Bannon and Glenn Beck and who's that annoying fucking weasel, Ben Shapiro, right, to pitch gold. What they're doing is they're getting Shapiro and Bannon and all these other hacks to promote horse shit, to promote disinformation, to promote nonsense in order to lure people to buy gold. Why? Well, because Birch Gold doesn't want to do it. If Birch Gold does it directly, they can be more easily accused of fraud. You understand? It's called passing the buck. You understand this expression, passing the buck, right? They're passing the buck to Bannon. You see? So Bannon, he doesn't get in trouble because he's just there talking his opinion. He's not selling the gold. You understand? That's why they get these frontmen to do it. So that Birch Gold doesn't get in trouble for promoting horse shit. That's the big scam. That's why all these gold companies, they endorse and they fund all these fucking scammers on YouTube and on TV. They've been doing this shit for a long time. Okay? Someone might want to tell Scott Schaefer to listen to this so he'll understand how it works, because he doesn't know. You see, I just explained it. He doesn't understand. This is low-level shit. So let's take a look now at Steve Bannon. So here's another example, because I want to show you guys the exact material here. So I came across this material, and apparently there's 4 parts to this. So I don't know where this was originally released, but you can see here it's kind of an ebook, and distinctively you can see The End of the Dollar Empire by Steve K. Bannon. Now notice, so what you're thinking is what? Well, it's a little ebook by Steve Bannon. And take a look at the top here, exclusive to Birch Gold Group. So obviously, here's the situation. Steve Bannon did not fucking write this. He didn't write a single fucking word of this. I will guarantee you. Okay? I will guarantee you. He didn't write a single fucking word of this nonsense. Okay? But that's kind of a trick. So think about it for a second. What if Birch Gold wrote all this material? Then Birch Gold will be promoting a bunch of silly horse shit in order to lure people to buy gold. That's a problem. So what do? They pay Steve Bannon to do it. That kind of absolves them from manipulating people. And then, of course, they have a high-profile name for which, you know, some people trust. I don't know why. Steve Bannon is obviously a fucking scam artist. And so you can see here, you know what it's going to say. You know the song and dance. If you know the whole gold pumping scene, you know the bullshit, you already know the whole fucking plot. It's going to be, they're going to talk about the mythology of all the inflation. Your dollar's not worth this, not worth, it's lost 95% of its value over the past 100 years and all this nonsense and the Federal Reserve conspiracy and all this horse shit, right? So you can see here, Volume 1, the Federal Reserve. How the Federal Reserve robs your wealth, enriches the wealthiest Americans, and distorts the free market. Of course, free market is what these guys, they talk about free market, right? The Peter Schiffs of the world, the libertarians. We want a free market. They're complete fucking doctors of distortion, okay? But this is free market's supposed to kind of trigger, free market, liberty, freedom, and they want to make it sound, buy gold, right? So obviously, I don't think you're going to find anybody in the gold community who's more anti-Federal Reserve than me. I tell you who they are. I name the names and I give you the tribe. And I tell you what they've done. But guess what? I don't fucking obsess over them. I don't make it a part of a narrative. I don't use that to pitch anything. That's just the fucking reality. You understand what I'm saying? But the gold kingpins, they want to have this little narrative. And of course, this goes back to Edward Griffin, who's a fucking shill. And this all, folks, this is why I'm saying this whole gold narrative stuff goes way back into time. Many, 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 many decades. And you're talking about hundreds, if not thousands, of kingpins of disinformation where this mythology has propagated. From Alex Jones, right, to all these other conspiracy people. Remember, alternative media, they pitch gold. In fact, several years ago, that was one of their primary sources of revenue. In some cases, their only source of revenue was pitching gold. Now they're into the supplements industry because that's another way they can scam people with that scam industry. So let's go on now and take a look and see. So remember, this is by Steve Bannon. Dear fellow American, over the last few years, I've become increasingly concerned by a number of growing economic forces that threaten the U.S. This economic warfare is taking place right now on a number of fronts. Now, this was written, I believe, a year ago or so. The immediate goal is to undermine the U.S. dollar. So you can just read all this horse shit on your own. You can find it online. Okay? And here goes the Federal Reserve conspiracy horse shit. Folks, none of this shit fucking matters. Okay? It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. All that matters is what we have to deal with today. What the fuck's going on today? If you want to talk about conspiracies all your life and worry about all this horseshit, then go ahead and join the table, the coffee table, with all the people that talk about big fucking foot and flat earth and fake moon landing. Okay? That's what I'm talking about here. It's these same type of people. So they're going to talk about all this horseshit and take a look here. They're going to give you the chart here. Right? This is the purchasing power of the U.S. dollar. Take a look. My gosh. And they want to tag it to ever since the Federal Reserve was formed. It was because of the Fed that the dollar has lost its purchasing power. That's what they claim. Okay? Whatever. Now, let me just explain one thing. Okay? And this is just a very simple thing. And you all, who has not seen this? This is one of the most common, one of the first arguments you're going to see by the gold pumpers out there. They're going to tell you that your dollar is lost 95% of its purchasing power since the Federal Reserve was created some 100 plus years ago. Is that not correct? You're always going to hear that, right? So, have you ever heard anybody debunk that? Anybody? Well, I've debunked it many years ago. You're never going to hear anybody debunk it because, well, folks, that's why I'm the big swinging fucking dick. That's why none of these fucking gold kingpin charlatans would ever go up against me on a neutral platform, because I debunk all their horse shit in a fucking instant and make it understandable to the dumbest fucking idiot out there on the street. So take a look at this chart. Think about this. Wow. The dollar's losing its value due to inflation, right? A dollar today is worth much less than it was a dollar 10 years ago, right? Makes sense. How can you argue against that? You can't, can you? Well, guess what, geniuses? Nobody takes their fucking dollars and puts them under their mattress for 100 fucking years and lets it sit there, do they? Gold is an asset. It's not fucking money. And what do? What do you do with money? You invest it. You put it in the fucking bank. At the very least, you can get a lot of interest over the years that's going to counteract that inflation. Okay? Risk-free. But guess what? You want to take a little risk? Buy some real estate. Tell me what that dollar is going to do in 100 years invested in real estate. Better yet, put it in the stock market. Tell me what it's going to do. You understand what I'm saying? They don't tell you that. Okay? They don't tell you that. They also don't tell you the fact that wages back in 1913 were a hell of a lot lower than they are today. $1 in 1913 is probably the same as $100 today. You understand? That's why you get wage increases. Inflation over time decreases the purchasing power of the dollar. That's why you put your fucking dollars in investments. That's why you get wage hikes, wage increases over the years. You never hear that. And you never hear anybody mention that. Right? You all have heard this for the first time now. This is one of hundreds of bullshit tactics that these con men use to steer the sheep into the fucking slaughterhouse and to buy gold from them, because they could charge all these huge commissions. And the big scam is where they want you to store it, where they're gonna charge you 1% per year of your fucking gold holdings. They're gonna take from you. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, Birch Gold right now is one of the big kingpins getting all these celebrities out there. I mean, folks, I can go ahead and tell you, Birch Gold ain't giving you a good deal. Think about it for a second. Think about it. You think I ever buy fucking Nike tennis shoes? I buy Nike tennis shoes when I'm in Asia, when they're fucking pirated shit. I'm not going to pay for Michael Jordan's fucking mansion. You understand? It's the same shit you're doing with Birch Gold. These guys are getting paid money. How do you think they're getting that money back? The same way FTX got their fucking money back when they paid Tom Nash and Kevin and Graham Stephan and all these other fraudsters. They got it back off your ass. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? Not to mention the fact that Birch Gold and all these other gold companies, in my opinion, are engaging in fraud. They are defrauding people because they are getting pitchmen, influential pitchmen, to pitch their shit, to pitch mythology, to mislead people, to scare people, to deceive people, so they'll buy gold from them. In my book, that's fucking fraud.
terms of getting back as an investor, if it's coming down to here, almost irrespective of what's going on, I have to believe, if I have to make a call in advance, and of course I can change depending on what happens, but I have to believe this is where you want to start doing that 18, 17, around there. Their earnings report is a complete game changer, at least for quite a while. Bottom line, NVIDIA now is going to enter the realm of Tesla, Apple, and all these other big, I mean, listen, NVIDIA can come down to 150, come down to $100. If you don't think it's possible, then you don't understand how the market works. I mean, listen, NVIDIA can come down to 150, come down to $100. If you don't think it's possible, then you don't understand how the market works.